Hi, and welcome to this video, where I'm going to show you how I'm going about painting a modular game tile and then pouring resin so that I can have a really disgusting and toxic looking flood on my game board. It's really easy to do, and links for the products that I used are in the description. For the sake of your sanity, I've sped the video up so that you can see what's going on. Here I took some black, red, green and yellow acrylic paints and dropped the lines on the board ready for rough blending, with the darker areas representing the deeper sections. The red, when mixed with the green, gives a real dirty looking brown. Ideal. I used the black to darken that further. Don't be afraid to add more colour to it as you go. I added black when I wanted to deepen the colour, and yellow when I wanted to make that really sickly looking green in the shallower parts, and in truth some of the yellow didn't mix in and it looked disgusting. Brilliant. For painting the board, I repeated this process, and since my theme colour is oxidized iron dust, red is the main colour. I use an acrylic that's more transparent on drying, so it looks a lot brighter wet than dry. Just keep adding layers of colour as they dry off until you're happy. I mix in a little yellow in a few spots to vary up the colour. I used Citadel Colour Lead Belcher, as it's a nice dark metallic colour, and I think it works well in the underhive. If I want to show off fresh scuffs on the metal sections, I can easily return with a lighter, brighter metallic and stipple them on with a stiff brush. But that's for later. I also dry brush on Lead Belcher quite quickly onto all of the bulkheads to get that dulled metallic look that just feels like the grim dark future. It's worth noting that I use quite a soft brush, and I don't take off as much paint as you might normally when you do dry brushing. That's because I think that this is a base layer, and it will add variance to the intensity of the colour that I quite like. In order to add more variety in a subtle way to the paintwork and avoid it looking flat and lifeless, I take the same acrylics and thin them down just with water. Now, remember, they are the transparent ones, so they're brighter when they're wet. I roughly blast the bulkheads with a variety of red, yellow, black and green before mixing up into a brown at the end and using that as a bit of a wash on the floor sections to dirty them down. Don't worry about how wet or saturated the bulkheads look, as I deal with that just by lightly dabbing a tissue on them to soak up the heavy excess. Finally, I take my old favourite, Nuln Oil ink from Citadel Colour and give everything that has had metallic paint applied to it a heavy blast. Now, personally, on a vertical surface, I prefer to load up my brush and run a heavy dose across the top of the piece and let the wash run down. I also do this with Agrax Earthshade or Reichland Flesh Tone, depending on how red or brown or both I want the colour to be. It really makes things look greasy and dirty. I also wanted to say, little details on a game board can be key. This little grate is just cereal card and the cutout from the granny grating to make a hatch, and a hole dug out and painted black with some straws added to create pipes. It's out of the way, flat, and allows terrain to be placed on top, no problem. But it looks nifty when uncovered. And now for the star of the show. No, not me. This clear cast resin. It's amazing. It's so easy to use, it's ready mixed. It's brilliant. And we're going to use this this wonderful Hex-Wraith flame from Citadel Color. We're gonna make this look disgusting. Unlike me. I'm gorgeous. Pour out the amount of resin you need. I'm going to need 2 pots, as one will be yellow tinted and one green. Carefully mix the colours, you don't need much, and do it slowly so that you don't get bubbles forming. I warmed up the resin by sitting the bottle in a warm bath of water before pouring into my mixing cups. That helped. Then, I just poured the resins in a way that didn't cause them to mix, and I ended up with this lovely, greeny, yellow, scummy looking water. Or sump juice, if you prefer. Now I came back and I did a second pour because I wanted it to be a little bit deeper. But once that's done and it's cured, it's time for you to have a bit of fun. Take some pictures like this, or like this, or get really atmospheric, like this. Thanks for watching. Don't be scared, give it a go. Don't forget, if you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe. Give it a go.